Okay, here we are. We're about to walk in and see Dr. Paul for week 2 of This Is Serious, Mum. There's Dr. Paul. How are you, Paul?
It's been a busy week.
Busy week?
A busy week, yes. Doing nothing.
Doing nothing? It's just like work.
Well, it's Thursday, so what did we do this week so far?
I'm not sure.
Haven't been, I'm just making a list of the stuff that's lined up, like there's 2 operas and a party and whatever.
That's good.
Coming.
Well, that's good.
And this is worse than usual.
Your throat?
Yeah. But I've been in touch with the voice person,
Yep.
or the ENT, and I'm seeing her in a couple of weeks' time. Just, is there anything else we can do? See, it's going down.
Can they hear you?
Yeah, but it's sort of getting worse.
That's not good.
It surprises me.
That's not good. So, Paul, I'll get you to transfer over to the chair over here because we like this chair. Because I like, if you can find a soft chair, because it's actually more challenging for you to do the exercises. And we'll walk and talk, and in your case, you'll walk because you can't talk.
Then I will take this off.
Yeah. So, welcome down to week 2 of Paul's training at his place. Now, Paul, I'm shuffling around a few ideas for names of...
What do you mean, my training? I've been dry since I was about 18 months.
I don't get that.
I haven't been wetting nappies since I was 18 months.
Oh, okay. No, you're not that sort of training. Well, then again, you are at a place where you can be excused for that. So, Paul, while we're sitting there, I'll get you to sort of leaning straight. See how Paul's sort of coming in at an angle of that chair? If you can straighten up so you're sort of walking. Yeah, that's the go. And preferably that chair wants to be against a wall because as Paul shuffles forward, he'll equal and opposite force. Paul, remember that from Newton?
So when do the metal manacles and wiring go on?
Yeah, we could do that. And we talked about that today at the gym, about the electric chair, about the good ways to die and the bad ways to die. And the electric chair came up. Apologies for this conversation.
Did you ever see the film? Anyway, there's a really nasty, brutal warder who decided to take it out on a guy that's been killed. And what he didn't do was put the wet sponge.
Yes, the green mile, the long green mile. On that healthy, happy note, here we are, week 2 of Paul's training. If you could uncross your legs, Paul, because it's much easier if Paul's legs uncrossed. We're going to do some squatting. Now you can see a couple of things. I can see a couple of things that could potentially go wrong here. So if you do this in your own establishment, let's call it, this chair could slide backwards as Paul lifts up and pushes back. The chair could go back from Isaac Newton, equal and opposite forces. We've got his feet really close together, which we don't want, and we've got an uneven, semi-uneven surface here. One foot could be on the carpet and the other foot's going to be on the floorboard. But we've trained anywhere and everywhere, and Paul's trained with me, so he can do anything as far as training goes. That means he's put up with me, not he can do anything because he's been with me. And I'm concerned by this hand here, and he could potentially jam his finger in there. So if we could shuffle your chair almost like this, Paul, sort of, if you could shuffle it back, yeah, that's good, and away from the wall. And as we did that, you'll notice we've just hit the staff assist alarm button, and someone will burst through that door in a second. So all we're going to practice is standing up, the sit stands.
Certainly, you can't see it from here, but the chair in the room has wooden legs and a metal cap, but it's on one of those faux wooden floors, so it doesn't take much to make it skid backwards.
No, which we don't want to do. So, what we're going to do is get Paul to just do some sit stands to start with, and then as he does that, we'll talk you through it, and hopefully he does it. Go for it, Paul.
These have been harder this week than the previous week. I don't know why.
That happens. And notice how we started 4 minutes ago, and we're just about to do our first bit of activity. So 4 minutes into the session, and here we go. Time to move. Nice. That's really good, Paul. Really, really impressed with that.
It's feeling better than yesterday. But
That's really good.
But it's not going to last very long.
That's okay. So you notice how Paul's bouncing a bit. So as a trainer, I'd be upset by that, but because Paul's the client, I'm really impressed by that because the approach to it was really good. The bounce is okay. It doesn't. We don't have to be exact with your technique as long as it doesn't hurt.
If I do it a bit slower, I've got better control.
Good. So Paul just said it exactly what I wanted him to do, is to go down slow. Because the slower you go down, in the old-fashioned technical terms, the eccentric load, or the lengthening of the muscle here and in the bum, which I won't touch for all sorts of legal reasons, especially after the last court case I went through. As you lower it down eccentrically, it puts more pressure on the muscles, and your body gets stronger if you lower it slowly. So rather than just rush up and drop down like you saw Paul do before. So the disadvantage of dropping down and bouncing out is you're not actually using the muscles, you're using the bed to help you. But if you need that sort of help, that's fine.
That aggravates the pain.
It exaggerates the pain. How's that? Aggravates the pain. And you got to. I'm hoping my posture's like this because it's very awkward in here. But you notice Paul's posture's like this. So it'd be nice if he sat up like this, because as you age, you're going to start stooping and stuff. But also as you age, you get tired and you can't be bothered. So it's okay either way. We don't have to get too worried about it, if you like. So we're stuck in that corner, and we're going to
I'll interrupt Jack to say that before he came, I was worried because my hearays weren't working. Now I'm worried because they're working again.
Yes, and now he can hear me perfectly, so we're not sure which way's beneficial for either of us. So Paul, we're going to do those exercises with your walking stick. I've just stepped out of the frame to grab Paul's walking stick, and you'll notice it'd be nice if he held it in the middle, but it's not going to matter. He's going to hold it slightly to the side because we don't want to hit that wall that's just to the side of him. So Paul, just raise that up. We're going to maintain that mobility through the shoulder, which we did last week. And we're just trying to go up and down. And notice how Paul's posture's already got better just by doing this exercise. So it doesn't give him good posture, but it allows him to experience good posture to hopefully carries over in the rest of his day.
I can feel it cranking everything out.
Yeah. It will crack and pop the shoulders. I was training a gentleman this morning who was in his 40s and his shoulders were cracking and popping. I was training a lady yesterday who's in her 30s and it was cracking and popping, and now we've got some old bastard here training and it's cracking and popping. And it's just, they do crack and pop more when you get older. It's just part of human beings' life. So
it must be about 10 years ago when I told Jack, feel that. And we started to move one shoulder. You hear crunch, 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 crunch. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Well, it's gone now, but not. Yeah, it's still been a bit.
Yeah, the shoulder's probably one of the worst joints in the body. And I mean, I once did a seminar and I said, okay, we've got a lot to get through, and one of the big topics we're going to talk about.
Say that again.
No, I will in a second.
My shoulder's one of the worst joints in the body.
Your shoulder's one of the worst joints in the body.
No, his gym is.
One of the worst joints to put your body in. I wanted to talk, I said there's a lot to cover with today, and one of the biggest important things are shoulders. So if you have an injured shoulder, put your hand up. So I said, okay, good, no one here has got a shoulder injury, let's get to the next stuff. Because no one was able.
Your humour is worse than mine.
No one was able to put their shoulder up. So I'm going to relieve Paul of the stick and get him now to. So it's good to superset. In training world, in the gym world, we call it superset, which just means we alternate. We alternate between a lower body exercise and an upper body for no reason other than to relieve boredom and also let that muscle here rest, and then go back to the lower body, which has had a rest while he's been doing this, or the client's been doing this. So up you go, Paul. Let's sit stand again. Nice. I'll just make sure that's zoomed out so we can see. And whilst you were doing those shoulder exercises, you probably noticed Paul's right shoulder on the left of the screen is slightly higher than his right shoulder, which is on the left of the screen. I'll try to say that again. So this shoulder sits slightly higher and also sits further out, or his head sits further in. So there's lots of pre-existing injuries that Paul has and you will have too. And we call those pre-existing injuries life. Because we've all got them.
That's a song.
It's a song?
That's life.
Yeah. So we're just going to keep doing that. Now, Paul, breathe in as you go down.
In as I go down.
In as you go down. Breathe in. It's a breathe in as you sit down and breathe out as you stand up. That's the hard bit. Breathe out. Breathe in as you go down. And the breathing is really important. We don't want you to hold your breath. at any age, but we don't want you to hold your breath now that you're probably in an establishment like this, because it'll increase your blood pressure. So we breathe in and out, and you see how Paul's getting, we can hear him breathing. And we know he's still alive from the breathing.
Another 2 or 3 of these, I won't be breathing, I'll be screaming.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly took more damage, or not. No, it did improve.
Yeah, they get better. And it's, I was training a gentleman just before we got here, Simon, who said to say hello. And he was saying it's really hard, the exercises he was doing. And I said, yes, the gym is the only place in life where your failure is the best result you can get. So that we're actually training to exhaust the muscles to failure, we call it. So we want you to fail in the gym and not be able to do that last rep. And it's weird, we're going for failure. It's the only place where failure is a success in life. So maybe there's other places where failure is success, but okay. So we're going to do the shoulder one again. And as you do this, or as Paul does that, you'll see the shoulder slightly, that's looking better now. So just we're doing it for mobility. I'd love Paul to be sitting up and putting his head up in the air, but it's okay. That doesn't really matter. It's no big deal. And if it's getting too light, because sometimes you're limited by what you've got at your establishment. So to make it a little bit heavier, I'm going to drape Paul's jacket over it. 2 advantages in this: it becomes heavier and we can't see him. And here he is. And that should have got heavier now, Paul. So you can do it till you can't do any more of these, where it's heavy, which is probably about now, and then take the jacket off and keep going.
And the left shoulder started crunching.
Keep going if you can. Now it's lighter, and now how easy is that?
Oh, it's a lot easier like that.
Yeah, so you can increase the intensity. It's all about intensity and intent. Yeah, but we don't want to hurt.
Do you want to put your hand on your shoulder and feel the crunching?
We'll do that when the camera's off.
Right.
That's fine, Paul, have a rest. Right. So resting is an active part of the workout. It does 2 things. It allows Paul and I to have a catch up and chat, but it allows your body to recover and give yourself permission. There's nothing wrong with it. I say resting is an active part of your workout. There's nothing wrong with resting. You go to a gym, any gym, where there's 16-year-olds, 20-year-olds, they'll be doing a workout, doing an exercise, stopping, chatting, having a drink, doing another exercise. For some reason, personal trainers out there feel they have to keep clients going, go, but there's nothing wrong with resting, and especially at the stage you're at in your life, Paul. How's that? You like that?
He's trying to subtly suggest that I'm geriatric, which I am.
Yes, and so I've become a GT. I'm finally a GT in my life. Yeah, no, you're doing well, Paul. So this week's been good?
Yeah.
Good. How's it here? How's it going here?
Good. It's quiet. It can get a bit boring at times.
I bet. How do you keep your brain going?
How do
How do you keep your brain active?
Because I'm just in the process of finishing my autobiography.
Okay.
And I've been writing quite extensively.
That's good. Have you got past day 1?
The problem is when that runs out, I can't start on another one.
No. You can start on a biography of someone else. Yeah.
No, but it's that sort of stuff. Like I've always written quite a lot, professionally, and if I can get back to that, I sort of stopped it a little while ago.
Yeah.
I'll get back to that. That keeps
so how do you know when to finish?
The autobiography.
Obviously, there's a time where you go, I've written an autobiography, but you can still put more in. Every day you can sort of add another.
Well, I know it's probably time to finish when I get chest pain and see the long white tube coming towards me.
There's that part. There's that part to finish, but how do you know when to finish your book? Or does someone else finish it for you?
I've done chapters.
Yeah.
And I've really run out of new chapters.
Okay.
And I'm waiting on my daughter Amy to edit them.
Yeah.
She's going to do some editing of the book. And that will take 6 months.
Really? It's exciting.
No, just to head off all the libel claims, etc.
Yeah. Because Paul's done a lot in his life. Paul, as you do the next set, I'm going to hold this for Paul. To make the squats heavier, because you can make this heavier, as we just showed you with the weight going on it, and holding this doing squats is pretty superfluous. if you have something in here to hold, it'd be great. But the chances of holding something, you might tip over. And I saw a poster in the elevator coming here about like losing your balance and going head over heels. And I thought about what made the tripping up term head over heels, because the centre of gravity goes forward, and so it makes sense that head over heels. We don't want to do that. So I'll show you how to make this heavier without putting any extra weight in. All right. So Paul, if you could stand up and down for like 2 or 3. So I'm going to get you to breathe in as you go down. Breathe in and go down. Okay. Now put your feet closer together before you go down. Now we're going to try to go down one-legged by taking one foot off and go down one-legged. To unweight one foot. Even if you don't take it off the ground, just take one foot off. Here we go. Yeah, good. Trust yourself. Put your hands there if you want to on the chair, and just very slowly one-legged. Slow and go down one-legged. Sit down one-legged, Paul. Too much?
It was a lot harder. Yeah.
A lot harder. So you can increase it quite a bit.
It was partly balance, but also the extra strain on one leg.
Yeah. So Paul calls it strain. I call it intensity, because that's what you want. So it's obviously not strong enough to hold it completely, but just try to, rather than take your foot off, just unweight the foot within the leg, within the shoe. So come up again. So within the shoe, take it off and try down. Keep your foot on the ground and then go down, maybe on your toe, and go down now like that. So it puts more weight all the way down, Paul, if you can. Go down, sit, all the way down.
Yeah, I'm scared of going over.
Okay. Yeah, so if you put your hands out there, you got more balance. Is that putting more intensity into your leg?
Yep.
Yeah, good. Or in Paul's word, strain. And then switch legs, Paul. Yeah, you can see it in Paul's face and his body.
The intensity is more on the other leg.
That's correct. Yeah, you take the leg off and then the weight goes in that leg. Yeah, and now so we're going to let Paul have a rest, and then we'll go to the opposite leg. So you don't always have to put weight on. It's how you sort of take things off when you to increase the intensity. So when you're ready, Paul, go to the other leg.
Jack knows that when I was at school, we had an Austrian PT teacher whose favourite saying was "no pain, no gain." I would always reply to him by saying, "No pain, no pain."
And I would add to that, "No train, no gain." I think pain is a good indicator. Pain is, getting technical for a second, pain is like guardrails, or it's giving you the restrictions of what you should aim to be within. I wouldn't train up to pain. We're trying to work up to, if your word strain, working the muscle without any pain. So we want to work up to fatigue, not pain. Pain's a good indicator that there's something wrong and to stop. But you got to try to. It's easy to say I've been training all my life, so I think I know the difference. A lot of people who come to the gym for the first time, or if you've started doing this exercise the first time, you might go, "Oh, I've hurt my knee doing those stupid exercises that Dr. Paul did." But it's okay if you want to email us with a sue. Talk to your lawyer, and you can sue us, and we'll both plead that it wasn't Paul or I in this video, it was someone else. No, just be sensible. Let's just on that, do see a doctor or physio before you attempt these exercises, and possibly see a psychologist before you laugh at the jokes. Paul, come up again and try the other side, or laugh at our attempt of joke. So keep the left foot on the ground and just slowly lower with the right foot. So Paul had his left foot, he's had his right foot forward, which unweighted it. So if you put your left foot forward a bit, Paul, and just slide, and then put all the weight on this leg, and sit down. Yeah, and keep the hands out. This should be harder now on the right side. Should be, yeah. So we've increased the intensity, and yeah, you might stop at 2. Can you keep going? We had enough. Yeah, good. So you can see it in Paul's face how he's starting to work. It should be breathe out as he comes up, and then breathe in. I'm not sure if the microphone's picking that up, but we'll edit it out with lots of music so we can't hear Paul complaining.
That'll do for a moment.
Yeah, that's good. See how that natural smile came on my face? That Paul was in a bit of discomfort. That's a trainer. Sorry. Okay. No, it's great. It really is. We want that. See, the great thing is that's going to work Paul's leg, make it stronger, pull on the bones, increase the bone density. When he walks down the hallways here, if he does lose his balance, he's going to quickly regain his balance, and that's going to stop him from falling. So I'm happy he's feeling like that. But it feels like in the moment, I'm happy he's in pain, but it's not about that. Paul, can you do that exercise where you put this above your head and just push it up and down? So while Paul's legs are recovering, yeah, so just, and then bend the elbows and just bring it back down. Yeah. So we can make this heavier, like we said before, by hanging some clothes on it, but I won't do this for the video, because we don't want to cut your face off, Paul, but you can see how this exercise, you could do it in your own space, and no one's going to be looking at you, and you put like a jacket over the front.
You might like to take a vote on that.
I mean, what you could do, if you don't want to have it in front of your head, you can put a jacket on this side and a jacket on that side and keep them balanced, or put a jacket on this side, like with the unevenness, and it creates a bit of imbalance, and Paul has to maintain the balance. So there's lots of things you can do. It helps if you played Lego when you were a kid. It helps when you played Meccano with your kid, because you can look around your room and say, what can I use to help increase the intensity? I'll take that, Paul. And now we'll do the same thing on, excuse me, and then the same thing on that side. So it's just if you want to make it heavier, put your keys in the pocket, put your phone in your pocket. I'd like to say Paul could put his wallet in the pocket, but it's so light, there's nothing in it. I've cleaned it out. He doesn't know it yet, but I've cleaned it out. Amy, I've cleaned it. This is good. Yeah, so this is great. So we've got a bit of shoulder work, a bit of upper body work. It's really making his body work. Lower body, upper body. It's good. And a bit of head stuff where you get to watch this wherever you are and get to see Paul moving and me telling him to move. What better things could you do? Because like you just said before, and this is one of the reasons we're doing this, is there are people out there all over the world right now sitting in, not your chair, but in your situation. And they've gone from like work, family, hustle, and then you're here and you get bored, I'm assuming.
And you can probably see so far, it actually doesn't take a lot of time. It just needs the motivation to do it. And 10, 15, 20 minutes goes.
Yeah. And you get to watch Paul and I once a week, and it might be something you look forward to seeing, or not.
I'll do my best to try and stop Jack from cracking jokes. That'll just make it better.
I'll do my best to continue. I said one this morning, one of my clients was upset by what happened recently in the paper. Not in the paper, in Sydney here in Australia, and he said he was really upset because of what happened in the Jewish community here in Australia. And I said, but he said he didn't feel he had the right to be upset because he wasn't Jewish. And I said to him, when the tsunami happened, my mum was really upset watching the tsunami, and when the first tsunami happened, they used the word tsunami for the first time. I said, my mum was really upset by that, but she can't swim. So you don't have to... This is my attempt at a joke this week.
It worked.
Attempt. So Paul, before we go, because we're sort of like... We're not going to get political here or religious or anything, but it is interesting how the papers are talking about the incident this week, isn't it? Have you noticed that?
Very much so.
Yeah.
And also, I'm a member of a couple of clubs. Neither of them are sort of Jewish-oriented clubs. The number of phone calls I've had from non-Jewish friends deeply upset by what happened.
Yeah.
I was just been astonished.
Yeah, I'm not, because it's everywhere in the community. I think everyone feels kicked in the guts in some way or the other. Yeah. So anyway, on that happy note, do some squats, do the exercises. Anything you'd like to share, Paul, before we leave today? Because this is a weekly episode, and it's nice not just for the people listening now, but for your future listeners.
Absolutely.
Like
what's good for me is actually going through them in real time with Jack. It means they impress me. That for the rest of the week, I can repeat them. It's not merely just having a chart. Yeah,
which is really good. See, and the great thing is these will be posted wherever you're watching them, and you can rewind that and do it again and again and again. If you don't want to hear the blur we're doing, just fast forward it to the exercises. But I think at the time between the exercises, we're filling in with a bit of a chat. I think it's important to do that, have that rest. If the takeaway today is resting is an active part of the workout. It's really important to rest. We're not here to set PBs, but if your PB is, I did 4 squats this week and last week you did 3, then that's, it's a 33% improvement, which is fantastic. Cool. And we've done 100% improvement because this is week 2. Now, I'm looking for a name, Paul. I'm looking for the name for the series. I'm thinking of calling it "This Is Serious, Mum." I'm not sure, unless you can think of a name, because we've got to put a name on this series. I'm going to put Dr. Paul in there somewhere, like Dr. Paul, "This Is Serious, Mum," or
Dr. Paul, for once in his life, is being serious.
Hey, that could be good. Dr. Paul, for once in his life. I like that. We'll work on it. We need some votes, maybe. Yeah, so anyway.
I'm not sure we spelt it out, but I turned 80 earlier this month, and I've had a variety of medical illnesses, injuries, whatever, over time. And I must admit I wasn't a very good patient for quite a long time. I'm just trying to remedy this, and this is great stuff to get me back on track.
I think you've been hard on yourself. I think you've been pretty good. You've done pretty well. We were training Paul. Can I share what we used to do? Paul would come in either one day before chemo, one day after, or treatment. I'm not sure whether it's chemo. Yeah. Chemo is chemical, isn't it?
Yeah.
So some sort of chemical treatment Paul was receiving, and he'd come in and he couldn't move, and still managed to come in. And sometimes we'd just have a chat. Sometimes we'd move for 5 minutes on the bike, and he didn't want to. So I think you've been pretty remarkable in your movement, and it's pretty good.
You've really only got one option: either do it or die.
Yeah. Anyway, well, you've probably got some more options in there. But anyway, we'll see you next week here with, for once in his life, Dr. Paul. See you next week.
Look forward to it.